In this video, you'll learn how to make a life cast of someone's face. This footage is from a stage makeup class at Foothill College taught by Janis Bergmann. I'm going to alternate between footage of Janis's lecture, see that's me getting my hands dirty as her assistant, and footage I captured of a group of students doing the casting themselves so you at home could get a better angle of the process. Before we begin, it's important to prep all the supplies we'll be using so it's easy to reach when needed. Cotton needs to be torn into small pieces, and plaster bandages need to be cut into 3 sizes. The largest are about 8 inches, the nose piece is about 6 inches with a small cut in the center, and a bunch of tiny 1/2-inch strips. You'll need Q-tips, Vaseline or petroleum jelly, a bald cap, and fixative denture glue. We've lined the buckets and containers that we're going to be mixing plaster in with plastic bags to make the cleanup process easier. And you need to measure out the alginate and plaster in advance, but don't mix it yet. These are the formulas you'll need for this process. They're also written down in the description. Prep the subject by covering their hair with a bald cap. Put a thin layer of Vaseline on their eyebrows. Make sure their clothes are covered with plastic. In this case, we used garbage bags and cut out holes for their head and arms. For this process, Janis likes her students laying down on wrestling mats covered in plastic because she finds it's more relaxing for them than sitting up. We also provide the students with a paper and pen so they can communicate if needed. Alginate is a mold compound that when mixed with water cures to a rubbery material in about 5 minutes. If you use cold water, it will slow the curing process down and you'll have more time to apply it. You may be familiar with alginate because it's used to make teeth molds at the dentist. Paint the alginate on with your fingers quickly and gently. Tell the subject what you're doing as you go so they aren't surprised. If you're working as a team, it's good to have someone assigned to the nose area while someone else starts at the forehead and goes around to the chin, because the nose is a very important part to get right. It's also a good idea to have another person assigned to make sure the subject stays comfortable by watching their body language, read whatever they write, and most importantly, wipe their nostrils out with Q-tips if anything were to drip into them. Apply the alginate under the chin and onto the neck. Be careful not to have any drip into their hair. Apply the pieces of cotton to the alginate before it cures. The cotton gives the plaster bandages, which you're going to apply next, something to adhere to. Plaster will not stick to the alginate. You want a thin piece of cotton every 1 to 2 square inches. It's important that the pieces aren't too thick because it can cause dents in your mold. A piece on her mouth?
All over.
Good. This looks good.
See, Gwen knows what she's doing.
I do?
Gwen's a master.
I'm just bossing them around. If you don't apply enough cotton pieces to the alginate while it's still wet, you can still apply some after it's cured by using fixative denture glue. A nice big glob.
Look at that, so pretty.
Perfect,
Okay,
and then put a piece of cotton, and then maybe one right at the bottom of her chin, like right there.
Oh, okay.
Now the students clean off their hands of the alginate and prep for the plaster bandages. Dip the pre-cut bandages into the water and squeeze out extra water so it's not too drippy. Apply around the perimeter first. Smooth and wipe the bandages as you apply them. The plaster bandages are what give the mold strength, so it's very important that there are no gaps and that you overlap. In the end, you should have about 2 layers of plaster bandages everywhere. We've saved the 6-inch strip with the hole in the middle to go over her nose like this. And then we take the small 1/2-inch strips to get in every little nook and cranny around her nostrils. We'll do this in layers. It's important to mold the bandages around her nose and her entire face so that it's snug. The edges around the mask are also incredibly important to build up plaster bandages so it's nice and thick. Now they're placing another nose piece on for extra strength. It's really important that no plaster or alginate gets in the pipes, so before washing your hands, use a bucket of water to clean everything off. This bucket of water will be dumped outside. Now you wait. You have to look like you're waiting.
It's more like a thinker pose.
That's a thinker pose. How about looking at your watch? It'll take 7 to 10 minutes for the plaster bandages to dry. During the drying process, the plaster will feel warm to the touch and eventually cool down. That's when you know it's ready to come off. Help the subject sit up and have them scrunch their face as you loosen the edges.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna put your two hands on the front of your face and gonna bend forward. Just take your time with this. You're in no rush. We did get a little bit in her hair here because it did get drippy. Keep scrunching, and I'm just helping from the back a little bit just to peel off the sides.
I can't tell if this is sweat or like.
Nice.
So
Isn't that gorgeous? If I poured plaster into this, do you see a problem? Right. All the plaster would just come right out through the nose nostrils here, the nose holes. So we have to plug those up.
While we prep the next step, it's important the alginate negative doesn't dry and shrink, so we dampen a paper towel with cool water and place it in the mold. Janis mixes a small cup of alginate to plug the nose holes. Generally, alginate is mixed in equal parts, but since she wants it a little thicker, she'll use 1 scoop of alginate powder and a half a scoop of water. She can always add more water later if she decides it's necessary. She scoops a thick glob of alginate onto the tip of her fingers and inserts it into the nostrils until she can see it bubbling up, and then she holds still until it cures. If there wasn't enough cotton and the plaster bandages don't adhere well enough to the alginate, you may want to use clothespins to keep the two attached to each other. Gently place the negative into a box that we've lined with a bed of paper or towels. Now it's time to mix the plaster that we've pre-measured into the plastic-lined bucket.
Feel if there's any lumps or anything, and you can squeeze those out, and you can move slowly and get all those little bubbles out and everything. And what you want to do is in the beginning, you want to pretty much paint it in so that it gets all into the nooks and crannies. Otherwise, you're going to get bubbles in there. You don't want that. So once I get this in too, I can just kind of move it a little bit, and you'll see that some of the bubbles come up. One mistake a lot of people do is they miss the neck. You've got this wonderful opportunity to get all of the neck here.
What Janis is doing is creating a new edge. Instead of following all the way to the top of where the alginate is, she's delineating a brand new one. When you take the plaster life cast out of the mold, it needs something strong to rest on. It needs a strong edge, and that's what she's creating here. What we have here is a flat surface, but instead she wants to create something concave, like a bowl in the middle, so it's less heavy and you don't waste as much product because plaster is pretty expensive. So she's scooping out the center and creating a strong edge around the perimeter.
If I make my chin and neck too thin, it's just going to break right off. What I'm doing is I'm hollowing it out evenly and pushing up the sides.
As the plaster hardens, it becomes more difficult to work with. So when it's this consistency, it's best for manipulating it into a concave shape with thick edges. Now Janis is dipping her hands into water and using that moisture to smooth everything out. The plaster will take about 40 minutes to dry. You don't want to leave it in the alginate much longer than that because the moisture from the alginate can compromise the plaster.
And you'll see I've made it hollow and made this nice and thick all the way around and this nice ledge all the way around. And see how thick that neck part is?
When you remove the plaster face cast from the alginate negative, you may see some bumps on the face, but that can be smoothed out easily with fine sandpaper. And here is the completed life cast. If you'd like to learn more about theatrical hair and makeup, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Thanks so much.